Today on Dr. Phil.
How long since you've seen your children?
Over 5 years.
Did her ex turn her kids against her?
He set out to make me look like I was crazy.
Or was it her behavior?
She's thrown her hot tea on me. She just gets angry.
That is driving her entire family away.
I was a loving mother.
What you're doing is not working. You blame everybody.
I don't want to play this blame game.
Listen, I'm going to conduct an interview here, and I'm sorry if you don't like the questions. You don't really want to hear any of this, do you?
I think it needs to be heard with a therapist because this is delusional.
Yeah, let's get somebody out here that knows what the hell they're doing. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've heard long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
In 5, 4,
This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Go, Dr. Phil.
How are you? Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. All of you parents out there, I want you to imagine that you've been married for 20 wonderful years. Then one day you wake up and everything seems to have changed. Your perception is that your entire family has turned on you. Your entire family has deserted you. You lose your spouse, your home, and most tragically, your children. Now, the children you raised, now all of a sudden, they don't even want to speak to you. They don't want to see you. And you just keep asking yourself, what have I done to deserve this? Well, Sarah says this is her story. Take a look.
Mark and I were married for 23 years. We raised 3 wonderful children together. I was the full-time mother. We were one big happy family. After being happily married for about 19 years, the marriage started to fall apart. My children turned on me. My husband turned on me as well. The children became very disrespectful, rude, and condescending. I was abused by my children. One of my sons called me a piece of... We don't talk that way. I would tell my children to do something, and Mark would say, oh, you don't have to do that. Mark started making me out to be a bad person, that I was crazy, that I was irrational. I was so devastated. I felt horrible. They became monsters. They were nothing that I taught them. Manners, civility, respect, kindness.
I told her I love you, but I can't live with you anymore, and we need to move forward to get a divorce.
After the divorce, my children treated me like I was a disease. I was a plague. They wouldn't have anything to do with me. Over the course of 5 years, I have sent them about 1,500 emails and left 1,500 voicemails. My children have never returned an email and never returned a voicemail. There's no doubt in my mind that my ex-husband, Mark, has brainwashed our children against me.
So Sarah decided to take matters into her own hands. In fact, she has made it her mission, her crusade, to not only reunite with her own children, but she says help families everywhere.
My ex-husband, Mark, has used parental alienation strategies to teach my children to hate me, when in actuality, I'm their loving mother. Life without my children feels empty. It's horrible. I was so upset and frustrated that I decided to do something about it. I've created what I call a campaign to bring awareness to parental alienation and then help resolve it. I have some speaking engagements coming up, and my master plan is I'd like to get the money to hire a lobbyist. This is definitely my passion. On average, I'd say I spend about 12 hours a day working on this, at least. It makes me very angry to feel that I'm a victim of parental alienation, but it also empowers me, so I can help my children as well as millions of other children.
Okay, Sarah, I'm glad to meet you. I'm sorry for the circumstances. I wish we were talking about a happier situation with your family, but you feel that your husband has brainwashed your children and turned them against you, correct?
Correct. It's an indoctrination.
Do you think he did this consciously and purposely, that he set out to alienate them from you?
He set out to make me to look like I was crazy or a person that I'm not. It's called strategies, and they...
No, wait a minute. Don't give me a 101 on parental alienation syndrome. I want to know your experience. I want to talk about your situation.
Well, in my situation, I didn't understand. So I went to therapy, and they said, yes, this is what happens. Children's minds can be brainwashed, and I went through therapy to understand what happened to me and my children.
Okay, and at this point, you have how many children?
I have 3.
Okay, and you have no contact with any of them at all right now?
Well, I was advised to always keep in touch, email, let them know none of this was their fault, that I don't blame them, that I love them, that I'm here for them. We had beautiful relationships until the parental alienation started, and I reiterate this.
How long has it been since you've seen your children?
Over 5 years. No, I would like to talk about moving forward with my children. I'm a wonderful person, and I'm a kind mother.
Let's hear what Sarah's ex-husband, Mark, has to say.
Okay.
We had a pretty good marriage for the first 19 years. Just as we got to the 19th year, the dynamics during the marriage changed. Sarah became completely irrational and illogical. Sarah started more and more to get angry about things that made no sense. She became very unhappy. She would spend about 3 to 4 hours a night literally raking me about everything that I did wrong. Sarah, I believe, absolutely was abusing both myself and the children. She would yell out and she would claim that I was stupid and ignorant. I always thought that Sarah would snap out of it, and eventually I couldn't live with that anymore, so I needed to get divorced. Sarah's told me that she was going to destroy me and that she was going to win.
Well, Mark says that he had no choice but to take some drastic measures.
Sarah has attempted to make my life a living hell. If you don't agree with her, you're bad. It's as simple as that. She was writing emails telling me I was evil, I was a parental alienator, that I committed all sorts of frauds. And I believe the record one day was 21 emails.
I emailed my ex-husband, Mark, in a reasonable manner. I was peaceful, just like Gandhi and Martin Luther King talk about. I wanted to understand why my kids didn't want to see me.
The kids forwarded an email that their mother sent. The gist of that email was that she said that Osama bin Laden had been brought to justice, and the very next sentence said that a horrible person in their lives she was hoping to bring to justice as well.
I was not threatening him in any way. If there's some threat that he perceived something of a threat, he should have brought it to me. I don't have that behavior. I don't threaten people. I'm more collaborative.
I went to the police. I was extremely fearful of what it meant for my life. Ultimately, there was a restraining order issued to Sarah.
I feel like Mark got the restraining order so he could further align the children with him. Mark has tried to make me out to be crazy, unreasonable, and someone they should fear.
I am extremely concerned about what Sarah might do, and I have been told by professionals that I should be afraid of what she might do.
Tell me why you want to be here today.
I'd like to be here because I'm hopeful that somehow my ex-wife, Sarah, can figure out that I'm not an alienating parent, and also that, you know, the possibility of her somehow having some relationship with her children depends on changes that she's going to need to understand.
You want that relationship for her to have with you?
I've encouraged it all along. She doesn't understand it.
Mark has remarried, and his new wife is here. She, too, has a restraining order against Sarah, separate from her husband. We're going to meet her next. Plus, one of Sarah's children was, in fact, willing to come here today. What they remember of their childhood when we come back.
It's extremely important for Sarah to understand that I did not take our children away from her, that her actions, her statements are the ones that drove the kids away from her.
Tomorrow on Dr. Phil.
You're convicted of battery, 2 felonies.
I am a violent person.
She's afraid her boyfriend could kill her.
According to her, you have put a pillow over her face.
I pushed it on her face. I wasn't trying to suffocate her.
Dangerous love.
I'm not this crazy stalker that you're making me seem like.
I'm just asking you questions.
Ask me the questions the way that they're worded, and I'll fill in the blank for
Listen,
you.
I don't need you telling me how to do an interview.
America's most watched talk show. That's tomorrow.
I am the enemy in my children's eyes. In all honesty, I'm their savior.
Well, Sarah is convinced that her ex-husband, Mark, is alienating her from her children. The once happy couple have not had any contact in nearly a year because he has a restraining order against her, which she says is unwarranted. And Mark isn't the only one with a restraining order against Sarah. His new wife, Mikkel, says she lives in fear of this 100-pound woman.
Sarah threatened me, calling me a high-priced call girl. I was spending her money. Mark stole from her. After being married to Mark for about a month, I got an email from Sarah. The first email was, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to email you, so I won't contact you again." And I said, "Thank you." And after that, emails just kept going, escalating, getting worse. Over the course of 3 months, I must have received 100 emails.
The emails from Sarah were incredibly ugly.
If Mikkel felt threatened, she should have told me. She must be a pretty weak person. I'm trying to help.
I felt violated. The only option was to get a restraining order.
When I found out from Mikkel there was a restraining order, I was like disgusted. I was like, not these games again. What's next? They're looking to alienate me.
I am afraid of Sarah. When someone's that unstable and that angry, you just don't know what they're capable of.
Did you call her a high-priced call girl?
I don't recall. I know my therapist, when you say...
No, I'm asking you. Did you call her a high-priced call girl?
I don't recall.
I have a copy of an email here dated Friday, February 27th, and the subject line, it's from you, Sarah, to you, Mikkel, and the subject line is, "Are you any different than a high-priced call girl or a mistress who knowingly does wrong things and hurts innocent people for money? Have a nice weekend pretending to be someone you are not."
Okay, that could have very well been.
Well,
because I was going through therapy. Okay.
I mean,
you know, when my therapist, when I came to them and I said, this is going on, they're the ones that told me this is parental alienation.
On May 17th, you wrote to her, "You are a consenting adult and you do not have the Stockholm Syndrome. Do you plan on continuing to listen to Mark's lies? You could possibly find yourself in a situation where you will be unable to tell the judge that you were unaware of what was going on. I need to end this parental alienation, and my money, which I rightfully deserve, will help address some of the issues."
Right.
Does he have money that is yours?
That's what I've been told professionally, and I was also told professionally to contact the IRS so I couldn't be an accomplice. And I had to do that to protect myself. I was told professionally, contact the IRS, so
Well, let's get back to the alienation here.
Okay.
How did he do it?
Well, all right, let me make it very simple. They lie, and this is what they do.
Not they. I'm asking you he. You keep talking about they.
Because
I
they
want to know
all
about
fit a
he.
pattern.
No, I don't want to hear about the pattern.
Okay.
I want to know about
Mark
what's happened in
lies,
your case.
He's delusional, and he doesn't say it like it is. I am not anybody to fear or hate. I did what Gandhi and Martin Luther King do, and I use passive resistance. I use the emails to send to them to try and communicate, to say it's in the children's best interest to have both loving parents in their life. I'm a loving parent. I'm
My
trying
question
to
to you,
use...
sorry, I don't mean to be rude. My question was, what has he done to alienate your children from you?
He's filed restraining orders. He's told lies about me. He's told...
What has he lied about you? What did he say that was a lie about you?
He said that I'm dangerous, like when my son called me a piece of shit and I threw the water at him. He said, "Children, run to your room. She's going to attack you." I'm going to attack you. I've never attacked anybody in my life.
And what do you say about that?
Things.
I did not say that at all. Actually, one of the children went and called the police because of what she threw at him. And so he made the choice. He called the police.
He's known to lie. He lies on tax returns. He lies in other ways. That's his disposition. He lies that I'm dangerous. This is what they do. I don't want to play this blame game. I'm a really good person. I do a lot of good things.
Listen, I'm going to conduct an interview here, and I'm sorry if you don't like the questions. This is a he said, she said, and I'm trying to find out if, in fact, there is change-worthy behavior on one or both sides. Now, you're either lying or you're telling the truth.
I'm telling 100% the truth.
Like the tax returns.
I have
Let's take a break. Only one of Sarah's children was willing to come today and face their mother. Two of them did not refuse. They adamantly refused. They said absolutely not. How do you feel about that? I was able to get one of them here, but not the other two.
Just like the Middle East, what Carrie is doing. They've been indoctrinated to hate and fear.
I don't want to talk about Gandhi and Martin Luther King in the Middle East. I want to talk about your children here. Trying to stay focused here. Okay. Just trying to stay focused on your family and your children. We're going to hear from your child when we come back.
Good. Oh, what's that?
I have cut off all communication with my mom and not spoken with her in over 4 years. I'm about to sit down with her face to face, and I am nervous. I'm scared. I don't know if I'm ready to even see her again. I don't know if I want to see her right now.
Thursday on Dr. Phil. Their daughter needs an intervention.
She was arrested for heroin. Did you bail her out?
Yes.
But so do the parents.
You guys aren't ready. You're hiding stuff from your husband.
She's not hiding anything from me.
Well, she told us that she did, so she's either lying to us or she's lying to you.
America's most watched talk show.
I'm a heroin addict. I can say it. Are you an addict? No, I'm not. You are a liar, Mom. Say it.
Then on Friday, she wants her daughter back.
You have had her for the past 2 years.
But her mom's not letting go.
She's not a fit mother, in my view.
I'm not sure you're qualified to make that determination.
You are responsible for that damage.
Stop it. This is the circus I don't want.
I don't care how you
Dr.
feel.
Phil, I don't want her to keep interrupting me.
She's not my daughter. I can't tell her what to do.
Friday. Then on Monday.
None of us had anything to do with your son's death.
Suicide.
You don't think he killed himself?
Or something else.
We've answered countless questions.
Are you complaining about them asking you?
That's Monday.
Sarah has made a lot of claims over the last few years that I've paid off a lot of people. Sarah has been banned from a Jewish temple, and she's claiming that I paid the rabbi off. That's completely false. I absolutely believe that if the Dr. Phil show does not go the way that Sarah wants it to go, that she will make the claim that I paid Dr. Phil off.
Hey, Sarah is furious with her ex-husband, Mark. She believes that he is guilty of alienating their children from her with the help of his new wife, Mikkel.
Wait, excuse me, I'm not furious. As it was told by me, he's very sick and needs help. He's not a bad person. He's sick and needs help. I'm not furious.
All right. Sarah is very concerned about the... Sarah is very concerned about the mental illness that her husband may be suffering from that would make it okay with him to alienate children from their own mother. And let me tell you, if that's going on, it is a horrible, horrible thing to do that will come back and bite you in the end. Mark, I'm telling you, I guarantee you, if this is coming from you and you are falsely accusing him, then that's going to come back to bite you. And understand,
experts have validated it. The experts told me that this is what
here's
was
an
going
expert
on.
telling you the jury's still out. Okay. And children can become alienated from a parent by the acts of the spouse, or they can become alienated from the parent by the acts of that parent. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's any doubt that these children are alienated from you. Mm-hmm. That, I think, we can all agree on. We invited all three of Mark and Sarah's children to be here today. Her sons absolutely refused to have anything to do with their mother. They wouldn't discuss it. They were non-negotiable, said it's not happening. Only Julie, their 22-year-old daughter, agreed to share the stage with Sarah. She says in no way has her father alienated her from her mother. Take a look.
My mom has left me hundreds of voicemails, sent me hundreds of emails.
I still email my children and I call them regularly.
You can either understand the truth or live a lie.
I have no idea if they're getting them, but as a good parent, you're supposed to prepare your children for the future, and this is what I try and do.
She'll address them too. These are my wonderful but mentally abused children with parental alienation syndrome, telling me I'm sick, like how long am I gonna let my father control me? I need to learn to stand up to my dad, like 5, 6 pages long, just ranting. They were just all of her complaints.
I'm trying to be a voice of reason, but one thing I do not do is I do not badmouth their father. I talk in general terms. This is parental alienation. I have said, based on what professionals have told me, he's not a bad person, he's a sick person and needs help.
I've just completely ignored her.
It makes me feel horrible that I don't have communication with my daughter.
I truly believe that if she saw all my brothers and I, and we started talking to her, she'd stop her website. Like, she wouldn't continue doing it to help millions of children. And I know that for a fact.
Julie, come on out. Good to meet you. How are you?
I haven't seen you. How are you? Oh my God. You look so different. Oh my God.
Have a seat right there.
Oh my God.
Julie, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Tell me why you want to be here today.
Well, I came here because I know something needs to change. She has no accountability for anything she's ever done to hurt me.
What have I done that's hurtful? I have only sent loving emails. What have I done?
You're saying that this parental alienation, like I've had issues with you, and I've told you since they got really bad at 6th grade, and that's
what.
Why do you think I went to boarding school?
Okay, you went to boarding school because you were bored at the school where you were, and your father and I thought it was
This
great.
would be a great time to listen.
Do you not remember, like, before I went to boarding school, we used to fight all the time.
Oh, mothers and daughters don't fight?
No, it's not normal for me to not be able to have a conversation with you.
So you're saying you're happy without me?
Yes.
There's a rabbi. You said Mark paid the rabbi off.
Something's going on with that.
Pastor Rick Warren, that Mark paid him
Rick
off.
Warren, he wouldn't get involved.
If you bought this boy off, you must have a lot of money. Closed captioning provided by...
For a brilliant smile, there's a breakthrough in whitening. From Crest 3D White, new Brilliance toothpaste and Boost. After brushing, our exclusive Boost polishes your smile and whitens with 3 times the stain-lifting ingredient for a smile that dazzles. New Crest 3D White Brilliance.
When you're serious about fighting wrinkles, turn to Rock Retinol Correction. 1 week, fine lines appear to fade. 1 month, deep wrinkles look smoother. After 1 year, skin looks ageless. High-performance skincare, only from Rock.
Now, I read every word that you said as we talked to you, your letters, your pre-interview, and I have put together what I think is your point of view in a timeline about how things went. You said, and these are quotes, I'm sorry that y'all have to kind of turn around a little bit.
Is you okay? Yeah.
There's a real big one right here.
Oh,
right here.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought you might want to stay by Julie's. You told us that from 85 to 08 that you guys had a wonderful marriage, that you gave examples, which I thought were great examples. That's why I keep asking you for personal examples. You said, you and the kids would cook and bake, and
and knit. Julie's a good knitter.
See,
right?
Kids knit.
Yeah,
See, I think I didn't do my homework. Kids knit, and you were stay-at-home mom, and you said that you actually got loving emails from your kids at boarding school.
I do.
So, like, if you're just such a just unconscionable bitch, why would you get loving emails from your kids? Then in 2008, that's when you say that this parental alienation started.
That's correct.
You said that Mark is narcissistic, just like your father. Your kids, it's like overnight became monsters and mimic their father's behavior.
That's correct.
Okay? And you blame a lot of people for not intervening, not helping, not acting here.
I don't blame a lot of people.
Well, let's see. You said Mark brainwashed the kids.
Yes.
You said Mikkel's silence means supportive of parental alienation. You said the kids ganged up on you, that they're little versions of Mark.
That's correct.
You said the judge wanted to shut you up when you were complaining about a therapist and that Mark paid him off.
Yeah.
There was a unification therapist. You said that therapist was crooked and Mark paid the therapist off.
No, the therapist didn't practice safe haven therapy. I got this from my therapist.
Did you tell us that this was a crooked therapist and Mark paid him off?
Something happened in there, yeah.
There's a rabbi. You said Mark paid the rabbi off.
Something's going on with that, and I haven't gotten to the bottom of that. But, yeah, there's something going on in there.
Okay, and Pastor Rick Warren, that Mark paid him
Rick
off.
Warren, I said, could you stand as a therapist and mediate?
Okay.
And he wouldn't get involved.
Okay.
I'm just saying the facts. I'm not saying bad.
Right.
I didn't say he paid him off.
Yes, you did say he paid him off. You told us that he paid him off.
There's something going on. There's something going on.
I'm sorry, Julie, what?
He sends me messages saying
going on.
Dad pays off all these
Something's going on. Unless
No, I'm talking to Julie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She just sends me messages saying, like, my dad pays off all these people. Like, anyone who disagrees with her, my dad has to pay him.
I wouldn't, given certainly the tax allegations, I'm not going to discuss your income, but I do know, I
don't have an IRS problem at all.
I know the pastor, he's a friend, and if you bought this boy off, you must have a lot of money. I'm saying he's got a lot of money.
Why won't he talk about parental alienation?
It's not
and
his
just give us
problem.
sermons.
You do blame a lot of people.
I don't blame anybody. I'm taking the proactive approach, and I don't blame anybody. I'm stating the facts. I was a loving mother, did everything I can.
Sarah, I said that the fuel that moves this train is insight.
Okay.
What ownership do you have in this problem, and what could you do to inspire an open mind on her part?
What I could do would be to continue to love you.
But it never was good before.
You don't. Wait a minute. I was a full-time mom, and you did really well, and we have all these
just
pictures
because
of
I
you
did well
happy.
doesn't mean you hurt me. Didn't hurt me.
Well, then let's go to therapy and talk about it.
We've done that, and you fire the therapist when they don't agree with you.
Wait a minute. I never fired any therapist, and I get along fine. That was a strategy. We went to so many different therapists because my ex would say, I don't like this one. I'd say, I could try another one. I like this one. And then they turn it on you. This is what they do. Well, then you pick a therapist that is very reputable.
How about I pick one?
That one.
There is a whole lot more to this timeline. I am just getting started. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on Dr. Phil.
You were convicted of battery, 2 felonies.
I am a violent person.
She's afraid her boyfriend could kill her.
According to her, you have put a pillow over her face.
I pushed it on her face. I wasn't trying to suffocate her.
Dangerous love.
I'm not this crazy stalker that you're making me seem like.
I'm just asking you questions.
Ask me the questions the way that they're worded, and I'll fill in the blanks.
Listen, I don't need you telling me how to do an interview.
America's most watched talk show. That's tomorrow.
All right. Sarah and Mark's kids are alienated from their mother, who is who is to blame is really the question. Now, one of those children is here, Julie, and she is here to talk to her mother for the first time in nearly 5 years. You have to understand that some of what you're doing is not working. You say, I don't blame anybody. You blame everybody. I mean, now let's take a look at this. Julie, help me out.
Okay.
This is Sarah's point of view about what happened. Now, you say that this was wonderful, that the kids baked and cooked and knitted and all of that, and I think that that was a big part of this family's life. I think it was wonderful. But it wasn't perfect, because Julie says that she was so stressed out that she was actually cutting between the ages of 8 and 11. You started...
3rd grade through 5th grade.
3rd grade through 5th grade. You started cutting yourself, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know that till right.
I didn't tell anyone.
And I'm sorry that you didn't know that till now, but I'm telling you, that is a high-stress situation, and you were doing it why?
For relief. Well, I didn't know why, but looking back, it was always like when my mom would yell at me for stupid reasons. Like, I felt like I could never do anything right. So like I always tried to follow rules, so I couldn't just say, oh, I'm going to behave today and I won't get in trouble. Because no matter what I did, she'd always be yelling at me. So I would run up to my bathroom and cry every day and lock myself in my bathroom. When I was in there, sometimes I'd take like nail clippers in the sharp part. I didn't like try and kill myself and cut my wrist, but I would like cut my arms, like give myself bruises, because I didn't know what to do to like I felt like I could never make her happy. She was always yelling at me no matter what, and I did it for relief.
Look at all the photographs. They don't show this.
I didn't know.
It's not something I'm proud of. I want to share. Like, why do I need to tell you I'm doing it? You're the one hurting me.
Move forward.
Well, you can't move forward without you recognizing you have some things to work on as well.
And what did I do that bothered you so much?
A lot of things.
Okay, well then let's address
let me,
I will.
Julie, let me help you answer that question, because we ask you these questions. And the point that this is where the insight comes in, Sarah, Mark, I want you guys to understand, because you're saying 85 to 08, everything was hunky-dory, and in 08, that's when the parent alienation started. That's that they were wonderful, perfect relationships until then. Not perfect, but certainly healthy relationships.
Yes. I agree.
But the truth is that she reports, long before you ever accuse him of doing anything wrong, she's telling you that back in from 3rd to the 5th grade, she is cutting herself. People cut themselves to escape pain, to feel something, to relieve anxiety. Julie says Mom is telling her that she is fat and antagonize her.
You were calling me fat to my face. You'd come up to me, pinch my stomach. You'd give me glares every time I eat. And you'd just be so rude to me about it.
I don't do those
Yes,
things.
you do.
That's not my pattern.
Yes, you did.
But she remembers. Understand, reality is perception. You have described yourself as an alienation expert.
You did it
so
to me
you
too.
have got to show some insight here.
I don't do those things.
You did it to me too.
I don't do
Yes,
those.
you did. We watch you, and that's why we have problems with you, because you never remember anything you do wrong.
I don't remember. I have a very
Well,
good
try and
memory.
remember.
I don't behave this way.
Okay, it's really important that you hear what she's saying. And it doesn't mean you have to agree with it.
Okay, well, I think if we begin again, you will see I'm not that way.
Begin again without
And you
me.
have to begin again, and if we go through therapy and we can start, you will see I'm not that
Well,
way.
You really don't want to hear any of this, do you?
I think it needs to be heard with a therapist, because this is delusional. You're saying my boy.
You're going to hear the rest of this.
Okay.
You throw hot water at your son, he calls the
She's done it
cops.
to me, too, in the car. She's thrown her hot tea on me. She just gets angry, throws it back on me.
I don't even...
You've done that.
I don't even recall. I drive.
You don't recall anything you do.
This is delusional. I don't.
You have no accountability for anything you
drive and throw.
You really don't want to hear any of this, do you?
I think it needs to be heard with a therapist because this is delusional. The boys.
Let's get somebody out here that knows what the hell they're doing.
No, you were saying the boys. My boys. That's what I'm saying. You said the boys.
It's not their issue. It's your issue.
Okay, go ahead.
Sarah, you say that during this time, after the parental alienation started, that across this 5-year period, you send 1,500 emails and calls. The kids visit you, leave early. You go to Mark's house and throw a rock at the window and spray the house with a hose.
No, I was coming by and they wouldn't let me in and I couldn't get their attention. So the hose was out there, so I turned the hose on and they were there and I sprayed the window. And then, you know the little pebbles?
Pea gravel.
Yeah, the pea gravel. And I threw that to get their attention. That's all it was.
You had our attention for hours, stalking us around the house. Why did you need to be in the house? And then you threatened to pee on the doorstep if we don't let you in.
What?
Yes, you did.
I came to pick up something and I wanted to use the bathroom. And I don't speak the word pee. That's not how I talk.
You said, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
I said, go to the bathroom.
Okay,
and I went to the neighbor's house. But that was what that was about, to get their attention. I don't throw things. That's not my behavior.
So we're talking hundreds and hundreds of emails.
If you don't talk to your children and you send them every couple days, is that so terrible when you don't talk to your children?
When we read what the emails say.
You did not produce emails or written documentation to us of Mark saying ugly things about you, but
because I want to move forward.
We do have emails where you have said, written to your children, it is immoral to lie and it is illegal to lie to the judge and submit false documents to the court. I'm doing so much better now that I am away from your father and all of his mind games and demeaning ways he treated me. Something is wrong with him. Your father is delusional. He makes up things because of his mental illness. I'm sure your father is telling you lies about me again. They ultimately got restraining orders against you.
They didn't get restraining orders.
I'm saying these two got restraining orders against you.
They got restraining orders against me for the emails, they said. Because I never went to their house or saw them or did anything. It was all the emails. I never had any physical contact with them. I don't do those things.
Well, I gave your point of view.
I was trying to write to them to try and help the situation, to get us to therapy, to get some help.
I've now given you their point of view.
Okay.
So now we have your point of view, we have their point of view.
Okay.
How do you feel about your dialogue with Julie today?
I feel that some things need to be gone over, you know, and talked in more detail to get to more of the root of the problem. You know, but also if she's talking about things that happened years ago and whatever, we're new people that we need to move forward.
That's right, and we need to be new people today.
I've only gotten worse. You don't know me. I haven't seen you in 5 years.
Your voicemails, see some of your emails. You've gotten way worse. I think you need help. You need to realize Dad's not doing anything. You are the reason we don't talk to you because of things you've done, and we want to help you. That's why we're here.
Help, and my therapist advised me
do you hear? You're always quoting everybody from Gandhi to your therapist. Speak for yourself. Your daughter is here, and your daughter is saying,
you a chance to get help here on the show.
My plan for this family when we come back. Closed captioning provided by
toe fungus, huh?
And athlete's foot.
Whoa. Try Fungi Nail Toe and Foot.
Toe and foot?
It's guaranteed to treat both.
Then you know.
I'm attached to a pharmacist. Nail it with Fungi Nail.
What can we all agree on? What we can agree is that the children are alienated from you. Why is that unhealthy circumstance true? Is it because one of the two parents is toxic? I mean, has something happened here? Has the father brainwashed these children into thinking that you are a bad person and a bad influence and that they should stay away from you? There are tools that alienators use to do that. And the tools that they use to do that is they use persistent and unfounded criticism, right? They just badmouth you. They talk about the other parent. They limit contact. They try to keep the other parent away. They erase the other parent from the child's life. They take down pictures. They say you can't talk about them. They force rejection. Say, no, you have to reject her or you're betraying me. They do that. They create fear. Oh, I mean, that person's crazy, or they're going to do something bad to you. They're going to ruin your life. They force a choice. They come up and say, if you love me, you won't be with them. If you love them, you're not going to be with me. They isolate children from the extended family of the other person. There are all of these tools that parents can use to alienate. On the other hand, there are parents that can become toxic in their interaction patterns to the point that children back away from them. And I said the fuel that drives this whole train is insight. You have to be willing to step out of yourself and look and go, wow, what I'm doing is not working. Do you support your children having a free choice to have a relationship with their mother?
Absolutely. I support a free choice for them.
Do you believe that it would be healthy to have a good relationship with their mother?
If it's possible, it would be healthy.
Are you open to, under the right circumstances, to say, all right, this is a beginning point. Would you participate in that? Are you willing to acknowledge that there are things you're doing that are contributing to the distance from your children, and that you might want to take a new tact and try to build a relationship as a mother of an adult child?
It needs to be done.
So you're willing to participate?
I would love it. I've been trying to get them into therapy for 5 years. I love it.
Well, I've gotten this one to go.
Great.
And if that goes well, then I'll work on the other two.
That sounds fabulous to me.
But I think the first thing to do is lay some track here.
Okay, that would be great.
We will follow this situation and see what happens. And I very much want to be involved in the therapist selection. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.